Welcome, welcome. Hi, I'm Laura Lee, and this is RamGoatAstrology.
Hello, and I am the other half, Helena, across the pond in
Yes.
Sweden.
Hello, Helena. It's our last
Hello,
podcast of the year.
it is, and I feel like it's been a while since we recorded.
It has, because we're on a new schedule. We're doing it every other week, and we recorded quite a few podcasts ahead of time. So
we were good.
we're working it in a new way now and making it work for our schedule a little bit better and doing our recordings a little different. So yeah, we don't record every week like we used to.
No, but it feels so. It like to me, this almost feels like an event for me. It feels nice. It feels nice.
It kind of is, because it's the podcast for the new year, which I feel like is an event. That's an event in my mind.
Yep. Yeah, like now here we're sitting, is December 26th when we're recording this.
Yeah.
About to step into the new year, and we're looking at the first sort of the initial energy for 2025.
Yes.
So it feels like this, like a New Year's celebration almost.
It is. I love it.
Yeah.
This is probably the only New Year's celebration that I actually do. In fact, my 15-year-old son came up to me last night. He goes, "Can we actually do something this year for New Year's?" And I was like, "I have Saturn in the 5th house, so probably not." Nope. Nope.
We can do something, but it won't be fun.
Right. I'm going to be sleeping.
Clean.
And do you, he's like, "Can I go to my grandparents, please, and celebrate with them?" I was like, "That's actually a great idea." So he might go have a party with them. But I'd never realized how much Saturn in the 5th house really affects my urge to party. It's just
the non-urge to party.
It's literally the non-urge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, but then I have to be out until midnight, and then I have to come home after midnight, and then it's cold. And no.
No. But have you always been like that? Like growing up also?
I don't want to admit it, being my Aries sun sign. And I really don't want to admit it, because my Mars is there too. I have to admit, Mars is in the 5th house of partying too. But it's right next to Saturn. So my party guy is always like being watched by the authority figures. So I can't I can't have fun. No, I was kind of always a party pooper. Like I really was. I'm the I call myself the water guru. So if I go out with my friends and they're drinking, I just make them drink tons of water and make them eat.
The responsible one.
I'm the designated driver. I don't drink alcohol, and I make them all drink water so they don't have hangovers. So it's not that I can't have fun.
The auntie.
Just very not fun in certain ways. But I hate admitting that. I really hate admitting that.
It's okay. Everyone needs that person in their friends group.
It's me. I will
definitely. You're fun.
You're fun. Call you the Uber, and I will make sure you get home. But I know how to have fun appropriately. That's
you do appropriately
how it goes.
Yeah.
So my son wanted me to have a party or do something, and I was like, just no, nope. Sorry, go find somebody else to do that with. It's not your mother.
Yeah, it's the same here. I don't really make a big thing out of it either. We should just make something like a nice dinner, watch a movie, have a nice evening, and then try and stay up until midnight just to watch some firework, and then go to bed. Yeah.
Last year I did not make it to midnight. I think I fell asleep. So to be fair, I still have a 1-year-old, so there's that. But we have to start somewhere and have some new energy and renewed energy. So let's start with the astrology transits for the month and see what's coming up after the celebration that everyone else does, and not me and not you.
Yes.
So the first is quiet, so everybody can just relax. But then January 2nd, there's 2 things happening. So Vesta, which we just released a podcast on Vesta. She enters into Scorpio on the 2nd of January. And I would say that our heart flame, our inner flame, is going to get intense. There's going to be some transformation around what our drive and motivations are, what our passionate pull is. It's going to change. It's transformed somehow. So what a great time of year for that to start. We have this heart flame moving into this intense transformative sign the second day of the year. And we get to really, really embody that. Now, if you didn't listen to our podcast on Vesta, go back and listen to it. We just released it. And it's very good. We learned a lot. I learned a lot about that asteroid.
Yeah, it's interesting that this is the first, I mean, this amongst this other transit is, it's interesting to look at what is the very first energy, what's the first transit for this new year. I feel like that might say a lot about the year to come. So we have this Vesta entering Scorpio, which is like, Vesta is all about like devotion as well, and Scorpio is deep. So we will be like deep devotion. I feel like it will be very passionate to, you know, like, about.
One of the things we talked about in the podcast too about Vesta is, and I really remember this one, is like these really internal boundaries. Because if we are following that passion of ours, or that heart flame, or that inner pull and drive, I call it that Olympic torch pull, right? If we are following that, there have to be these healthy boundaries. And we don't go out and do the things that don't align with us. So I think we're going to really notice this year that we'll have some boundary shifting, especially right around that first couple of days. We'll notice this, oh, wow, I don't want to do that anymore. Or I don't want to go do that or be with those people anymore, or work at this place anymore. There's going to be some really intense boundary shifting. Be very interesting to see how that plays out. If you guys are journalers, I would highly recommend you do some journaling on this particular energy that shows up for you. If you notice like sudden, intense, intense shifts of your desires or your, inner drive, write that down and then kind of track that throughout the year.
Yeah. And the other thing that happens on January 2nd is Mars in Leo. Mars is still retrograde and trekking backwards. Will be in Leo, opposite to Pluto in Aquarius. And we had this transit not too long ago, before, when Mars was direct, moving around, and then it started going retrograde, and now it's back into that position opposite to Pluto in Aquarius. And this is a very dramatic transit, and Mars is very fiery, like to do things without thinking so much. Like things just happen, like there's flames and like action. Yeah. And Pluto is Pluto. Pluto is like, well, I can handle action, it doesn't really back down from action. Pluto is about transformation. So this is like, if you just boil it down, it's taking action to transform. Some kind of action will happen that will be igniting transformation.
So what I've been seeing with this particular situation, when Mars was opposite Pluto the first time and now going back, what I'm noticing is this collective energy of anger. So you're probably, I don't know if you've heard of it over there, but over here, we are having a lot of collective movements against like CEOs of companies, like health insurance company. The CEO just got murdered, and it's being very supported by people, by the masses, because of how many people have been denied and have died because of this insurance denial stuff. Now, I'm not condoning or supporting anything. I'm just reporting, right? But I'm seeing this energy play out in these ways, and it's showing up. That's just one example. It's showing up in many different ways where people, Aquarius, right? Groups of people are starting to take action and transform, Pluto, and then Mars and Leo. People are pissed.
Exactly.
People are pissed.
And do something about it, because Mars will always do something about it. And Mars in Leo is definitely not shy about, like,
courageous. Yeah, it's courageous. It's bold. It's daring. It's freaking watch me do this, right? And the whole thing with the CEO that got killed for United Healthcare, it was very Leo energy. Like it was really Leo. Like there things were planned. There was like social media posts that were planned. It was like it was a really like movie situation kind of thing. Like if this was turned into an adaptive film, people would be watching this left and right, right? So I think these are the dramatic tempers that are going to ignite. People are mad and they want change. They want the food prices to be reasonable. They want health insurance to just cover health. Like, right? I had stem cell transplants. Those were not covered by health insurance. I had dental implants. Those were not covered by insurance. Thank God I have family and credit cards and support and figured that out.
Yeah.
But if I didn't, I'd still be without teeth and I'd still be paralyzed. So like I feel very benefited, you know, like I've been benefited there and blessed. And I know so many people are not. And it's so hard. So this is the kind of stuff. January 2nd, man, Vesta entering Scorpio and Mars opposite Pluto. These are no joke. This is internal flame transforming people. And then this is anger and action. And this is the masses.
Exactly. Yeah, because Vesta in Scorpio is gonna also, lend the energy to that too. Like whatever you're feeling passionate about it and devoted to, you're gonna feel that even deeper and more intensely.
What a way to start a year. Holy man.
Yeah.
Holy man.
I feel like this year, at least the spring, but this year and especially January is a lot. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like, wow, there's a lot of energy. It's gonna be fast.
Yes.
It's gonna be fast. Yeah.
It is very just this first day, you know, second day, January 2nd, this first transit situation. Then on the 3rd, we've got another transit happening, a pretty decent one. This is Venus, our planet of values. So now the collective values is moving into Pisces, which is let's take care of each other. Let's take care of everybody. Let's make sure we are having compassionate, you know, experiences and really tending to, you know, homeless people or, you know, people who are can't get health care, whatever. I can see where America is really getting, frankly, pissed about stuff. And I'm so excited for it. Finally, man, finally. Because that's when change happens, right?
Yeah, Venus in Pisces. I feel like it's very comfortable there because Venus is all about, beauty and your values and everything. And Pisces is, it's about feeling the group, feeling the world, like wanting, like caring for others, being empathic.
Yes. Yeah, really. Your
So,
value system is energetically tuned in to the others, to society and the people in Ukraine, their pain is ours, and the people who just died on this airplane in Kazakhstan, their pain is ours, and like it's very interconnected, which I think is perfect to follow this like Mars. It's going retrograde, right? So Mars is going to come back over and have another opposition to Pluto in a little while, month or so. So we're going to experience a third hit of that Mars opposite Pluto situation. And so this is hit number 2 on the 2nd. And then the 3rd, we have this collective value system changing into Pisces of compassion and feelings and dreams and illusions of peace. Not that it's a delusion, but it is currently an illusion. Like it just is. But this dreamy water sign is important for us to really settle into our own feels and our own needs and our own kind of fantasy realms of what would it be like if we all got along and we all had peace and nobody was in pain. And, you know, the John Lennon song, Imagine, right? Imagine
I listened to that the other day.
It's a great song.
I love it.
It's a great song. Imagine we're all kind and getting along.
Yeah.
So that's very Venus in Pisces energy. So that's the 3rd. Also, just take note, everybody, your money is maybe an issue in January. You may have money just kind of slip out of your bank account and you don't know what you spent it on, or maybe you have to like pay all your credit cards that you put all your Christmas stuff on, and your money, you're like, well, I thought I had money, never mind, I don't know where it went. Just be aware of that, because Venus in Pisces is not the most observant of money going out.
And a bit leaky.
A little bit leaky.
A little bit
Yes.
leaky.
All
The
right.
day after, we have the Sun, which is now in Capricorn, sextile to Saturn in
Mm,
Pisces.
that's a nice one.
Nice, nicey.
Yeah.
So I love Sun Saturn sextile. It just feels because sextiles are those transits that you don't really like. They don't make a big fuss about. You don't feel them that much because they're just there.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not like a
Yeah.
square or an opposition or a trine, maybe. This is just like, oh, things are just flowing.
Yeah. It's
So it's
easy communication, easy conversation. Saturn's like,
yeah.
hey, son, you should do this. And your identity is like, hey, cool. All right. Like there's no difficulty there.
Yeah,
This is such
yeah.
a great day for productivity, New Year's resolution stuff, making your calendar out, maybe sitting down and doing your bills so you don't have leaky money.
Yeah, that's actually
Figuring
great. Like
out,
this is a great, yeah, day to just sit down and sort of start building on whatever it is that you are doing. Maybe you had some kind of New Year's resolution. Maybe not. Maybe you had just a regular goal that has nothing to do with the New Year's.
right.
But if you have something to build on or like a goal, this is a great day to sit down and start
Yes.
planning it.
January 4th. Put it in your calendar, peeps.
Yeah,
January 4th, great day to work on all of the mature things, whether it's maybe even starting your taxes. This would be a great tax day for real. January
yeah,
4th, at least start gathering your receipts, at least fill in the
yeah.
rest of
Oh
your
my gosh, that's
numbers,
so boring. Yes,
right? That fill in your numbers that you don't quite have filled in yet. January 4th, this is like put this on your calendar and thank me later.
yes. On January 6th, and this month we have transits almost every day, like every second day at least. And this is it's a lot. It's not usually like this. But yeah, on January 6th, we have two things happening. The first thing is that Mars, which is still retrograding, will now be retrograding back into Cancer. So a
Nice.
different energy than Leo. So now it will go back into the sign of Cancer, which is more about family, home, can be very like patriotic, like because patriotism is pretty much about your home, like defending your home.
Yes. This is a time too when Mars goes through Cancer. It's not the most fun sign for Mars to be in. So this kind of can be a little bit cranky, a little bit crabby. If you're feeling a little, and then also Mars is moving backwards. And so this is like in general, this planet doesn't want to go backwards. This one really likes is a forward motion energy. Mercury is like back and forth, right? Mercury doesn't mind that. Mars really like energetically prefers a forward motion. So when it goes backwards, it feels to us humans frankly just frustrating. It's a frustrating
Yeah.
energy. Like you fix something in your car and you go to drive down the road and something else breaks and you're like, oh, and you got to go back and fix that thing. And then you fix this other thing and that it's kind of a chronic frustration when Mars is going retrograde. So just be aware of that. And then when he retrogrades back into Cancer, it's a water sign. This is a fire planet. You don't want to be in a water. This, no. This is not a fun energy.
Yes.
Here now I'm going backwards and I'm in water. What? What? No. Ugh. So if this is a time where you and your family are not getting along, there's some family dramas, your teenagers are just buttholes, your toddlers are screaming at you, like be okay with it. It's going to change. It's a time in the sky. And I'm telling myself this right now.
Yeah.
Grr.
Yeah, that. And at the same time as that is happening, we also have a Mercury Neptune square.
That
So
same
we don't
day.
always mention the Mercury transits because they're very, very fast and there's very many of them. Mercury moves super fast. But this one, it's a square with Neptune, which means that your mind will be very foggy. This is a day
Yes.
when you're gonna have trouble deciding on things.
Yep.
Like d don't on January 6th, don't wait with big decisions to be decided on this day. It will be
Yep.
extra hard because Neptune is that dreamy, foggy, artsy, just wants to be like, jumping around in the lake with fairies. And Mercury is our thinking and I like how we process information because we need to, which can be hard to do
So
with this Neptune square.
write on your calendar this day, January 6th, do not get into arguments with people. Like just avoid getting pulled in. If someone starts to pull you in, whether it's your parents or your kids or your ex or your spouse or whoever, just be like, let it go, let it go. It's not my shit anymore. Right? Like do whatever you have to. This is my thing that I do. But find your thing and use your Jedi powers and stop that. Do not get sucked in to the tsunami with Mars going into Cancer and then this Mercury squared Neptune. Like, don't.
Because this is just a recipe for misunderstandings with Mercury square Neptune.
Closed-minded, idealistic, delusional. Oh, just no. Listen to us. Do not argue with people on January 6th. Just avoid arguments and figure out how you can maintain your own mental health that day and your own mind, because it's going to be, it feels like this is like a fight with your own self too, inside your own
It is. And I would suggest if you want to do something with this energy, because you can always learn from squares, that's what we do. This is why, I mean, this is what we get from oppositions, from squares, we get to grow and learn. So what you can do with a Mercury square Neptune is that you can try and like, for example, first of all, what did you dream? Because Neptune rules dreams and Mercury is your mind.
Good question.
Write down your dreams. It's okay to be 1 foot in the dream world today because you will be anyway. Don't try and fight it. Write a lot. Write about, this free writing kind of thing. When you just write and you don't think, you just let the pen move and see what comes out. And maybe you end up in a conversation with your dead grandma. I don't know, but that would be ideal for this day.
I love that. I really do.
Yeah.
So 2 days later, we have the 7th, we have a day to breathe. So that's cool. The 8th, Mercury moves into Capricorn. So this is something to take note of when our planet that rules our mind and our thinking and communication and learning, and our physicality, like the dexterity of our body, the way we move our body. Mercury also rules that, and that's moving into Capricorn. So this for me really is settling of our mind and getting more disciplined, right? Getting the structure, looking at the way things have been functioning with our mind in Sagittarius, and now moving into Capricorn and going, okay, where do we need to shore things up? Where do we need to tighten things? Where do we need to cut out the frivolousness? How many streaming services are we paying for? This is ridiculous, right? Let's cut out one, right? It's very like go through checks and balances. Another great day to do taxes. So January 4th, January 8th, start getting your all your structural stuff done. That'll be good. But be ambitious. When Mercury's in Capricorn, this is an ambitious time frame for your brain. Take on new things.
And Mercury will be in Capricorn for how long? About a month. It moves with the sun, a little bit around the sun. So around a month. Let's say a month.
Yeah, I think it is. Mercury.
We'll say a month, and then if we're wrong, well, okay, here I have the date. Until January 27.
Okay. I was looking.
So that's pretty much a month.
Yeah.
A little bit shy of a month. 3 weeks.
So we have 3 weeks to really use that ambitious energy with our mind to set really a lot of successful things up, right? You're setting up systems and structures and things to build upon. So what is your 2025 building upon? January 8th is a great day to start utilizing that for the next 3 weeks and really building for the rest of the year. Then we have a couple days of quiet. Breathe. While you're building, while your mind is working in Capricorn, right? And then Mars is in Cancer, and it's going to be trine to Saturn in Pisces. So this will be an interesting energy. It's not bad by any means. Mars is still retrograde, so there's that to consider. But Mars and Saturn having a nice conversation, a lovely, easy conversation, really leads to, it could be some romantic times. It could be really taking action on some hard work you've needed to do with Saturn, or maybe you really need to set aside time, Saturn, for your creativity in Pisces, right? Maybe you need to schedule time for meditation or schedule time for music lessons. This is a great transit to really utilize taking the action with your Cancer energy. So, what makes you feel good? To be mature and take the time, Saturn, to deal with the artistic or the spiritual or the flowy energy and carving out that white space.
Yeah. Yeah, like think about how when we talked about how Mars retrograde in Cancer, what that looks like, that a little bit crabbiness, a little bit like, oh, it's not a foot on the gas, it's sort of like going back and then go forward and then going back and then like, when you're driving with a manual and you're not really
Yeah.
getting it.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's that kind of energy and could have to do with, with family and stuff like that, exactly what we talked about. But now this energy is talking to Saturn in Pisces, which is teaching us about compassion a lot. So I see this trine also as a great thing to build on that energy from, what is happening with this Mars retrograde in Cancer? What are we, what's the retrograde doing? We have to go back and think about actions been taken in this energy and then deal with it in a Saturnian Piscean way, like with
Yes.
with compassion, but with maturity. So a
Exactly.
maturity is not always that comfortable because usually you have to sort of like admit maybe that you were wrong.
Yes, or tell somebody no that you don't want to say no to
Yeah,
because you need to have that healthy boundary. Yeah, being
exactly.
mature is not usually fun. It can be.
Hmm.
It's not usually the most fun thing, but it does usually lead to more peacefulness, more happiness because of those healthy boundaries and because you do
Yeah.
have time for yourself. Or I hear so many of my clients and so many of my family members that are like, oh, well, I don't have time. I don't have time. You're not making or creating or carving out the time for yourself. The time is there, it's always there, but you have to carve it out and make it for yourself and not give it to other people. So when we give our time away to other people, it really creates an energy of resentment. And so with Mars in Cancer trying to Saturn and Pisces, we now can take action on giving ourselves that time and not being resentful, which is really nice. I love
I'm
that.
looking forward to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've got the next day, January 13th, we're on now. The sun, still in Capricorn, is having a trine conversation with Uranus, and Uranus is hanging out in Taurus. So we've got two earthy energies here for a day, which is nice. And this is just like our identity in this productive, working forward, thinking one step at a time. Capricorn is having this great conversation with Uranus, and this is stepping into your authenticity, being more unique, eclectic, making changes where changes are needed. Maybe this is changing your nutrition patterns. Maybe this is taking action on doing your finances differently. Man, there's all kinds of ways this one could show up. But I see like food and nutrition and finances showing up on the 13th.
Yeah, I like this. I'm really liking this Earth trines and especially this is extra interesting, like the Sun and Uranus. So the Sun, your identity, your core, and then Uranus, like with a trine between these, like then I like Uranus. If it would have been a square, I would have been a little bit scared. But this is
Yeah.
a trine, so Uranus will then we will make use of Uranus's inventive side.
Yeah.
That side that is like a little freaky, but in a nice way,
Absolutely. Absolutely. This could even look like, because I think Taurus has so much to do with our values and like what we build our life upon, right? So this could be like a new change in your family or your family values or your home or something like that. Maybe you paint your walls or maybe you get a dog that you didn't
A
plan on
change
getting.
in your structure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I see that. All right. So that same day when Uranus and the sun are having a trine, we have a full moon. Whew.
In Cancer.
What a
And
big
remember
day.
that we still have Mars in retrograde here, still in a trine to Saturn in Pisces. So that is also part of this full moon
It is.
chart.
Yeah.
So I think that that Mars energy will be quite strong in this full moon.
I agree. I agree.
Cancerian chart. And yeah, this is the first full moon of 2025. Um, the moon is the most at home in Cancer because the moon is our emotions and feelings, and Cancer is also our emotions and feelings. So it's they're like two bits of a puzzle, or
Yes, exactly.
like these hearts where you have, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
Um, and this will be an extra emotional full moon because
It's
yes,
Cancer.
we all know that on full moons, the emotions really come out, and that's why people get crazy,
Yes.
lunatic,
Yep.
because it's our emotions coming to the surface that we have been repressing the whole month, trying to avoid. Now we can't because they're just bubbling up. And Cancer energy is also like that moody, crabby, like you will just snap at someone and then cry about it.
Yes. Yes.
Um, that's okay. It's just feelings. As
That's
long as
what
you
I
don't
was
hurt anyone.
that's what I was going to say. So this is going to be a big feeling, especially with the sun and Cap trying to Uranus. This is going to be like really being I always think of sun and Capricorn like being mature and responsible and doing the work even though you don't want to. Like I'm scowling and like I'm thinking of my husband right now.
Yeah.
Doing the work even though you don't want to do it, and you have to do the work because that's what you came to earth to do, and this is the job that has to be done, so you just do the work. So, and it's supported by that Uranus Taurus energy as well. And then the full moon in Cancer, the work this day is feeling your feelings. That's the work. Really,
Mm.
really creating a healthy foundation for your own unique identity, Uranus and Taurus. In order to do that, you got to release the shit that isn't serving you. The crap you keep carrying around, the baggage that isn't yours, the baggage that was yours, but you don't need to have it. You keep owning it as if it is, right? Like you have to let go of human experiences and human attachments, and that requires emotions and it requires
Mm.
emotional purges. Now, that doesn't have to be crying. It does usually look like that, especially on a deep level, but it could be extreme laughter, right? It could be any kind of emotion, however you need to emote. The point is, doing the work this day is feeling the feelings. You can't hide them. You shouldn't
Yes.
hide them. You don't need to hide them. The point is to release and let go so you can continue to move on in your human existence and in this
Hmm.
2025 year with healthier waters. You don't need to
Yeah.
have plastics and microparticles in your water. You can clean that shit and let it go, and you can move forward with healthier energy. And that's really what
Yes.
the work is this day.
Yes. So if you're a Capricorn moon person like me, this is like your chance. Every month we get a chance to, during the full moon, to like be emotional, talk about it, get it out. Um, yeah, we get this chance every month. Some months are not as great as others, like when it's an eclipse for some or something like that. But now is a great time. So do what Laura said, just like release,
Yeah, and
emote,
recognize that that
and
is the
release.
work. And sometimes
Yeah.
that looks like sitting in your bedroom, unable to function and just feeling bad because you should be this, or you should be doing this, or you should be doing that. But you're just sitting in bed and you're feeling guilty, and suddenly you start to cry. And your conscious mind has to recognize this is you doing the work. The shoulds are all just the productivity manager, your boss that wants you to come to work. Of course, your boss always wants you to come to work. But we also recognize we have to sit and do the work internal as well.
Mm.
And that's how I cry. I usually end up like I want to do something and I physically can't. It's like my mind and my heart won't allow me to take action because I have to get the emotions out. So like I have these days where I'm like I want to do this project, or I want to sit down and do this work thing, and I end up like in my room just frustrated and angry and can't do
Mm.
anything. And then I get really guilt ridden and very frustrated, and then usually it'll come out my vocal cords if my husband or my son or someone comes in and asks what's wrong.
Mm.
But that's how it works.
So yeah, full moon in Cancer, January 13. That's on my grandma's birthday. Woo. And she's in Cancer rising.
Interesting.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, so yeah, just side note, if you know someone who, for example, now like my grandma, this is her birthday, so yes, she's gonna feel this extra much, and she is a Cancer rising, so yeah, she's gonna feel this even more. If you have someone like that in your circle, you don't have to. I don't always talk astrology to these people, but I just make sure to sort of not to alarm them that they're gonna, feel a lot or whatever. Just be like, try and be there a little extra during
Mhm.
this day. Or if you're noticing that they're stressed prior to this, just be like, go in and like, just talk to them. And if they're an astrology person, you can speak astrology to them. If not, don't try and make them learn astrology. Just speak regular words to them and just like, I know, you can feel a lot sometimes,
Right.
but emotions pass and whatever. Just make sure to be there for them.
Help
If
walk them
if
through it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And even letting family members know, right? Like you could let your parents know and be like, "Hey, just so you know,
exactly.
grandma might be a little
She might act
extra."
out.
Yeah, she might be
Yeah.
a little extra around her birthday, the week
Hmm.
of her birthday. Just be prepared
Exactly.
for calls from the nursing home or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next
Yeah.
day, we've got a Venus in Pisces square to Jupiter in Gemini. And we've talked about this square before. I feel like this is the easiest square of all the squares.
Yeah.
I don't mind the
Venus and
square.
Jupiter. No, the only thing that I always think about is just this is also like hold on to your wallet because you might
Well,
want to see a lot of things that you like and you might want to buy them.
I see. Yep. I already warned you about the Venus in Pisces. Now we have Venus
Yeah.
square to Jupiter and Gemini. It's almost like that the Jupiter twins, one of them may show up and be like, "It's okay, we'll just deal with it later. Let's buy the thing." And then the other twin is like somewhere in the bathroom and comes out and is like, "Wait a minute, what did you just do? Wait, what?
Mm.
What happened? What button did you hit? You just purchased something. What'd you do?" Right? Like there's parts of us. And this I have lots of parts of me and frequently parts of myself does things while the other parts are like, what is happening? What is going on right now? So this could easily be a day where you are discombobulated because Pisces is two fish and Gemini is two people. And
Hmm.
they're not all going to be on the same page when it comes to spending
No.
money. I promise you, January 14th, you should watch your wallet and your children's wallets and your spouse's wallet.
Yeah.
Just watch the wallets.
Yeah, like leave the wallet at home and go, but go and do something nice. Like go and mingle with people, go and enjoy yourself because this
Yes,
is
be with
perfect
people,
energy to like hang out, just enjoy life, have fun.
but don't buy stuff on Amazon. Don't
Yeah.
hit the buy now
No,
button. Don't do it.
no.
Telling you, I
Like
better
leave the
listen.
house with just a little bit of cash.
I
That's it.
better listen to this podcast again for my own
Yeah,
sake.
you better. I always forget, and then I remember after something happened, and I'm like, oh no, we talked about this. Why didn't I listen?
I warned myself. Damn it.
Yes. Oh
Oh
well.
shit. We do have to warn ourselves for real.
Yeah.
But very passionate day. I don't think Venus square Jupiter is ever negative until it gets a little bit obnoxious. That's where I think the square comes in is it gets obnoxious. And then like you come home and you're like, "Look, I got a puppy." And your husband's like, "Wait, what?" Something like that could happen. Just saying.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh, January 15th. Let's move on from that one.
We're moving on. Yeah, January 15. Now we have Sun in Capricorn opposite to Mars in Cancer, who's still there, retrograding.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's an opposition. Sun is you, Mars is wanting to go, 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 but now it's going backwards. So this will be feeling a little bit strange.
Yeah.
Um, this will, yeah, discombobulated, a word I learned from you. This is very much like that, and I think that you will like sense this a lot in your body today because both Sun and Mars is very, very body, and Capricorn is also sort of body. Cancer is the thing that Cancer rules in your body is your guts and your breasts.
Yeah.
So this, you might be feeling stuff today, and
Yeah, this could
just
be
so you know, it's
digestive
just.
issues, digestive stuff. If you're a nursing mom, it could look like
Mhm.
mastitis or, milk issues. Like there's all kinds of ways this can show up, but I could easily see some like something show up with health issues or your physical body, maybe an injury or an old wound coming back or something like that.
Yeah, I think this is the day to just try and process stuff.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
You know, when you wake up, or like when you're walking around, you're in the middle of the day, and then you have this feeling that something is wrong, but you don't quite know what it is.
Yes.
You're like, I have a feeling in my stomach, and did I do something? And you're like, what could I have done? Am I in trouble somehow? And then you're trying to like think about like, did I mess something up? But you don't really figure anything out. Like there's nothing that you did. And I feel like this could be that sort of energy, but it's just like, okay, where is this feeling coming from? It's my stomach. Okay, where in my stomach? Okay, can I sit down for a little bit and breathe? And maybe something comes up. Maybe a memory will come up. Like that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that in this memory you did something bad. Maybe it's just something that you needed to process because it just comes up and wants to be shown and
It's
it
a good
just wants to be
idea.
seen.
Yeah. I call it the energy you just described where you're like, is something wrong? Did I do something? I call
Mm-hmm.
it the I need to fix it energy. Like it
Mm-hmm.
feels off. Something feels off. You cannot put your finger on it. You can't actually even acknowledge it. You just feel the offness and you want it fixed. That's what this looks like to me, this kind of energy on January 15th. But there is nothing really to fix. It's just
Mm-hmm.
an energy you kind of have to just sit with and be with and not
Yeah.
necessarily do anything about, even though Mars wants you to do. Please do, please do. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
angsty part of it is that you want to do, but there is not really much to do aside from just be and feel it. It's almost like being on a boat
Yeah.
and there's a storm. You can't do anything. You just be on the boat. You want to fix it, but really all you can do is just hang on to the damn boat and don't, you know, fall out. So
Mm.
that's what I feel like this energy looks like on the 15th. It may be a
Mm.
repercussions from the 13th and that full moon and all that too. It may be still feeling stuff because Capricorn energy is slower.
Yeah.
So it could be we're still feeling stuff. Or maybe you feel bad because you spent a whole bunch of money the day before.
Yeah.
That could be a
Oh my
thing too.
goodness.
So we have a
Yeah,
day off
it's
on the
mhm.
16th. So we have a day to breathe and just feel this uncomfortable opposite sun, moon, or sun Mars energy the day before. So the 16th, we can breathe. And the 17th, we have a nice sextile with the sun and Neptune. So this is a great
Mm.
day to do some art or meditate, play some music, go hang out with a friend, have some tea and just chit chat for a while. Just do something in your community. Very just easy kind of energy on the 17th, which good.
Mm.
We need that.
Yeah, yeah, we do. Um, and on January 18th, we have Venus in Pisces. It's a lot of Venus transits this month.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Venus in Pisces will be conjunct. This is our first conjunction to Saturn
Mm.
in Pisces. So Venus and Saturn will be sitting at the exact same degree in Pisces, and I really love that. Saturn has been in Pisces for a long time, trying to get us to mature about helping each other and realizing that we're all one and
Being
we need to
compassionate
be,
and
yeah,
spiritual and
exactly.
artistic and musical and all of it. Yep. I
Yeah.
think Venus lightens up the energy of Saturn. She lightens his heaviness and his authority. And she's like, come on, let's just put your rules down for a minute and let's just go have some fun. Right. She kind of chills him out a little bit.
Yeah, sort of like softens the edges.
Yeah. I like that. I like this. This could be a great day for you to start a spontaneous project or something artistic. Like I see painting your room or making something feel better, right? Venus loves to have things feel good. And Saturn's
Mm.
like, all right, fine. So this could be a really nice day where you are really enjoying things in a nice, mature, kind of taking your time kind of way.
Mm.
What else happens? So there's
Yep.
a quick Mercury one on that day too. Mercury is sextile to Saturn that day. So we have Venus conjunct Saturn, Mercury sextile Saturn. So Saturn's having a big conversation, a couple big conversations that day, which are very nice, easy, like networking, organizing workspaces, connecting with people. It's January 18th feels like a lovely, energetic day.
Mm.
And Saturn's involved. So there shouldn't be any kind of like over the topness, or he's going to help keep things in order and
Yeah.
mature.
Saturn will make sure that you don't you don't get out of bounds.
Right. Right. I like that. I like that. So the
Yeah.
19th, what's going on that day? Anything? Got
The
another
sun,
Mercury?
well, we
Right.
have a quick Mercury transit. The Mercury will then be sextile to Venus in Pisces, and Venus was sitting together with Saturn there.
Yep.
But also, the sun will enter Aquarius. So the sun is
Oh,
now moving from Capricorn to the earthy, structured Capricorn to the spacey, airy Aquarius.
yes.
Yeah.
I love Aquarius season. Oh, I love
Yeah.
Aquarius season.
Me too. Me
Do
too.
not hold back on your weirdness. Like, say the weird thing, be weird, do your weird. I really fully embrace all of my weirdness most of the time, I'd say.
Mm,
And I feel like there's not enough people who embrace their uniqueness, which is
mm,
what Aquarius really, really wants you to do. So with the sun, which helps to really highlight our identity, and it helps to bring that Aquarian identity up and out of us. Even if that's not your natal placement, we all have these zodiac signs within us, and the sun in Aquarius helps to bring that Aquariusness out of us. So
yeah.
let's get weird, guys. Let's get weird.
Yeah. And I don't know what and everyone thinks weird means, but to me it's yeah, like being very like letting your unique sides shine, and also those ideas that you have that others are like, what? Yeah, that's your weirdness.
I love that. What does weird mean? I'm thinking about that. I guess for me it would be being authentic and
Mm,
eclectic in the ways that light you up, right? So if you are super into studying bugs, study bugs away, man. Do it. Study all the bugs, right? Like if
mm,
you're super interested in rock painting, well, cool. Do right. Whatever is the thing that lights you up, that's your weird. Do it, and don't hide it because your parents didn't like it, or your religion didn't like it, or your husband thinks it's too strange and the neighbors will wonder, right? That's the kind of stuff that makes you eclectic and authentic. And that's what
mm.
Aquarius is all about, asking us to do, is be authentic.
Yeah.
All right, so we
And
have a sun conjunction immediately. The
yep.
first the first time just the sun walks into Aquarius and immediately is greeted by Pluto. So, hello
Hmm.
Pluto. We have a conjunction on the 21st with the sun and Pluto. So, this is the best time to really transform and let your uniqueness out. Like if you've been keeping something in the closet, for me for years, I was keeping my astrology in the closet. I was a closeted astrologer. And after I had my child, who has 7 planets and asteroids in Aquarius, I had to come out of the closet. So I came out as an astrologer who does health coaching and is an intuitive and gets intuitive messages. That felt so uncomfortable for me for a while, a year and a half at least. I'm much happier with it now, and much now I like to watch people's faces when I tell them what they do, what I do, right? Like
Mm.
when I say I'm an professional astrologer, people are like, "Wait, what?" It's fun. But for a while it was uncomfortable, and it was stepping out of the traditional Capricorn of what my parents or my society felt like I should do and into who I truly am.
Mm.
And that's what Pluto with the sun conjunction is going to demand every year from us for 24 years now. 24
Hmm.
years. This is going to be happening. So this is year 1. Get used to this.
Yeah. Yeah, so this conjunction, I just think of like power, because
Mhm.
Pluto is a very powerful planet. So this to me feels like, like straightening your back and like being like, here I am. Like sort of like intensely like this is me. Like whatever you're gonna do, um,
Do it
this
with
day
power.
you have that extra like, well, everyone, this is a transit that affects everyone. There will be some sort of like intense, like almost a little bit electric feeling.
For real.
I think there's going to be there's a chance of a lot of great things like starting, like intense, like
Futuristic
okay, we're
things.
gonna
Yeah.
start it now. Like
Yep.
now it's happening because you bring that power with the sun shining on Pluto,
Yeah. Yeah. So
pretty
use
much.
the 21st as a magical day. Like really treat this day as a magical gift because Pluto is the phoenix energy of the rebirth, right? And then Aquarius is the futuristic alien out there energy of we don't understand it. It's very, very like untangible and it's very future thinking. So when we combine
Mm,
these two, it is very magical energy
it
that
is.
our conscious mind has problems grasping. So if you have wishes, if you have manifestations, if you have a manifestation board or a dream journal, use it and put all your dreams and your wishes and your manifestations in there. If you do affirmations, this is a great day to really shift those affirmations to really align with you. So
Mm.
21st of January, get your freak flag, get it out, put it up proudly, whatever your freak flag looks like, and really let people know this is me.
Mm,
This is what I do. This is who I used to be, and this is who I am now. You may have known me as this. Now you know me as this. I can even see if somebody wanted to, has been thinking about changing their name, right? I have actually two friends who changed their names completely and from what they were given at birth and they didn't like it. They didn't resonate with their father or whatever. So they changed their name. This would be a day where you would change your identity, change your name, like file to
mm,
change or
mm,
something like that. So
mm,
the 21st is a great day to really change in identity for real.
mm.
Maybe color your hair different. I don't care. Get a haircut. Do something weird. The
Yeah.
23rd, we have a day off the 22nd. The 23rd, Mars is still in Cancer, and this is having a lovely conversation, a sextile conversation with Uranus in Taurus.
Mm,
So eat food today. Okay, eat food. This is a food eating day. Try new food. But this is very magical where maybe you'll just want to be home cooking or baking or doing some meal planning or just every time I see Cancer and Taurus together, I just think of like a family gathering with food.
mm.
It just
Yeah.
that's how that works in my brain. It just this equals this, these two together. So very naturally um, concerned about things that feel, look, taste good. We want
Mm.
things to feel good, taste good, look good, energetically be on the 23rd. So, what do you see for that day?
Yeah, I see it as a date when you can just yeah in like pretty much enjoy your everyday sort of routines. Like you're at home doing your thing, and like Uranus brings sort of like that like a flair, like an extra little like something different to that everyday life that makes you maybe like a spark that makes you enjoy it more. But yeah, and I'm thinking about still like how is that Mars in Cancer, that Mars retrograde in Cancer. Okay, it was that, dealing with the retrograde stuff, maybe about family stuff, about things in the past, and now you have a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is like bringing like lightning bolts of new ideas.
Mm,
And Taurus is about also some sort of structure and your values. So
yes.
this issue you were dealing with that came to the surface, maybe now you get a fresh idea that changes your values of how to go forward with this.
Okay.
But maybe not
Yep.
go forward quite yet because Mars is still in retrograde, but like you get the idea. Maybe you
Yeah.
don't take the steps yet, but you get the
It's coming
ignition.
in. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. I agree. So that same day, we have a Mercury opposite Mars energy as well. Mercury's in Capricorn now, opposite to Mars in Cancer. So we now have two Mars transits on that same day. And then that same day as well, the 23rd, Mercury's in Capricorn, trine to Uranus in Taurus. So Mercury and Mars and Uranus are having several conversations with each other on the 23rd. So that
Yeah.
means our mind, the way we talk, our action and our drive, our passion, and then our unique authenticity, our electricity, our nervous system are all conversating on the 23rd. This could go any which way. This could be a lovely day where it's really just good fortune at home and everyone gets along. It also, if your nervous system isn't well, it could be a day that's where there's some interesting words that come out, or there's some stress stuff that shows up. So it's not necessarily bad energy. It's not difficult energy. It's a lot of energy is what it is. It's a lot. So be prepared on the 23rd for your mind, your nervous system, and your action to all be very turned on in whatever way that happens. I don't know, but
I like that.
they're gonna be
okay. Moving on. So January 25th, we have Venus. We have a Venus and Mars trine. Venus is in Pisces. Mars is still retrograding in Cancer. Wow, Mars is also
very
doing a lot
this month. Yeah,
very active. So whatever is happening with that Mars retrograding, whatever is happening for you with that Mars retrograding and in the world globally, it will, like, throughout the month, it will have, like, many times when it gets hit with a different energy. And I feel like that ignition of Mars day retrograde is gonna ignite a lot of different things, like when you light something on fire and it leads to like several different things being lit on fire, and all of a sudden the whole house is on fire. But I don't mean this in a bad way that your house is on fire, but it just means like it's gonna lead to a lot of things, a lot of stuff. Let's see what happens. But yeah,
it'll be
I am
interesting.
intrigued.
I am very intrigued. It's going to be very, very interesting, all of this. And this will be shortly after the presidential inauguration here, which happens January 20th. So the day after the sun enters Aquarius and the day before the sun and Pluto are conjunct is when we have our president.
Goodness me.
Born in.
Okay, so whatever. That will bring a lot of transformation.
Yeah.
For your country.
A lot.
Yes.
And that's the 23rd of January, I'm sure, is going to be stimulated a lot by the things that our president will say, do, the stuff the action he will take.
Oh, Mercury
to trigger the Mercury, Mars, Uranus activity, I'm sure, which will trickle through our families. However, whatever your thoughts are, whatever your political leanings are, I don't care. You're affected. We are all affected. And your job is to rise above it, not get wrapped up into it, but to rise above it and recognize how you can just flow on the water no matter what pace the water is going or where the river is taking you. You can be in your boat and just learn how to ride the rapids. Or, it's really important that we don't get sucked into the drama and all of it. So the 26th is quite active with that Mercury sextile to Neptune. And then Venus is sextile to Uranus. So we have a lot of Venus and Mars transits for sure this month. Holy man. So the 26th, we've got the lovely energy with Venus and Uranus having the sextile. This can show up a lot of different ways, but the sextile energy is so easy to use. Sometimes you don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
So this could be a great day to repair relationships or really connect in a relational way. Anytime Taurus is involved and Venus is involved, there's a relational thing with a loved one. So this could be really trying new things within the relationship. Maybe going on a new date or trying, implementing something new into maybe a stagnant energy or a relationship that needs to be revived.
I like that. And so I was looking to the transit of January 27 when Mercury enters Aquarius, and just seeing that, and the day after Mercury will be conjunct Pluto, and just thinking about, like we have talked about before, like every single planet coming into Aquarius now will be like it will have this will be initiated by Pluto, because Pluto is like standing there at or is it like 1 degree now, 0 degrees?
Yeah, 0 or 1 right now.
Zero something, between 0 and 1 something degrees. And so just welcoming all of these planets coming in, like, all right, are you ready for it? Are you ready to transform?
Hello. Right. I just
Hello.
I was thinking recently of joining a board and like being on a board member for a local community group. And my question to myself thinking about this was, I know I can take it on and I know I can do it, but are they ready for me?
Oh,
That was the question I kept asking. Are they
yeah.
ready for me? Because I have a lot of this kind of energy within me of this transformation stuff. And I feel like I'm very much like this. Like I walk in a room and I'm like, hello. And then I'm like, all right, let's make some changes here, shall we? So like
Mm,
I enjoy this energy, but I know that it's not comfortable for a lot of people. And I feel like
mm.
all the planets entering into Aquarius are like, wow, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, because for
Hello.
one, it's Aquarius, so any planet coming into Aquarius will be like welcome with this energy of the rebellious energy, and then Pluto is there as this like rebellious transformer, like let's go.
Yeah.
Um, so that's interesting. Yeah, Mercury enters Aquarius the day after. It will be conjunct
Yeah.
to
And then
Pluto
the
in
and then the
Aquarius.
29th, so that's 27, 28th, then the 29th, we have a new moon in Aquarius. I
Yeah,
I really
first
like
moon
this.
of the year.
I like this
Yeah,
month, but I'm not sure if I will say the same thing at the end of the month. So
I feel the opposite.
I really am enjoying this. I think it's almost one of those months where I just want to like have a bucket of popcorn and just like watch it. I want to watch the month as if it's a movie
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's that kind of a month where shit's gonna be really different.
But it's just gonna be a lot because these many transits I have not seen in a month since we started recording
It's a
these
lot.
shows.
It's
Yeah,
like boom, 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 boom,
yeah.
boom. And it's so much with Mars and Venus and Mercury and Aquarius. So much.
And Pluto.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Boom. So this new
Boom, boom,
moon in
boom.
Aquarius on the 29th is going to really be a very interesting cycle of new, right? We've got new energy, especially like you said, Pluto in Aquarius right there. So this new energy of community. Watch what happens with community this month. You're going to see communities. You're going to see TikTok or Instagram, whatever. There's people are going to be banding together. I see it already, and I'm going to see it more and more and more where people want change and they're going to band together and build very strong networks because the
Mm.
planet of power is now there. So that's
Yeah.
strength. So strong
Hmm.
networks to make change. And I'm like, yeah, I'm all for that. So
Yeah.
this new moon in Aquarius on January 29th is going to be a really big shift as well. And then, of course, that's the Lunar New Year and the year of the snake on January 29th as well. So new moon in Aquarius, the Lunar New Year, and the year of the wood snake. I don't know anything about that, so I'd have to look.
Me neither, but I like it. I mean, I think it sounds great. I don't know anything about it, but wood snake.
Yeah, this
Hmm.
says as we glide into the Lunar New Year, now is the ideal time to trust your intuition and maintain an optimistic outlook to navigate any setbacks. Remember, a negative attitude can block your path to success. So embrace positivity. So I think that's where I was talking about too, where like you can't control the government, you can't control all of this stuff, but you can control how you manage to be in your boat, right? And how you function in your sphere. So
Mm.
like manage that, right? Don't try and control everything outside of your boat. Just
Mm.
manage yourself and stay in a
Mm.
positive frame of mind.
Yeah, and new moons are always a time to set like start things,
Mm-hmm.
plant seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Full moon is to emote, let things go. You harvest something or like you just let things out. And the new moons is to start things. Yeah, plant little seeds.
And then what's after our Lunar New Year and new moon?
Well, I will tell you that on January 30th, Uranus will be direct in Taurus. So Uranus has been moving backwards. We've had a lot of planets being in retrograde at the same time, a lot of big planets. And now Uranus is one of the first ones to stop that backward trek and start a forward motion.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm
And
looking
there's
forward to
more
it.
coming this spring. This is the first one.
Good. I'm looking
Mm.
forward to him turning around and heading forward.
Yeah, and I know that like everyone out there with planets in Taurus, with your sun in Taurus, with your Taurus ascendant or something, you have been hit by Taurus. Sorry, you've been hit by Uranus a lot the past couple of years, and like hit and hit and hit and hit. And now you will get the last hit if you have something in like late degree Taurus. But this will be the last one, the last time, so the last chance to make those last couple of changes, because Uranus for sure has brought a lot of changes to you in whatever way it looks like, depending on what planet you have there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Mm.
love, there's a line on here that says, don't let stubbornness hold you back from living your best life. Amen to that.
Yeah,
allow
always.
allow your the change to happen. That's what Uranus going through Taurus is wanting us to do. It wants you to change the way you do money. It wants you to change the way you do food. It wants you to change the way you do your foundation. It wants you to change in the areas that people are most resistant to change. Taurus area. So yeah, if you have a lot of planets in Taurus, you have been forced to change these since 2018. You've been forced, and you've got a
Yeah,
little bit left till 2026, and then it's Gemini
yeah,
turn.
yeah.
So the 30th, we also have one more thing. The sun is in Aquarius now, and it's having a lovely trine conversation to Jupiter and Gemini. So if you
Yeah.
would like to
Ending on a
manifest some
happy
things,
note.
yeah, happy, happy, happy. This is a lucky day. This is a manifesting day. This is a affirmation day. This is create plans and moving them forward in good fortune energy day. Great community day. Like meet with people. Go to board meetings, go to group meetings, like meet with people around the 30th.
For
It's
sure. This
great.
is a loud day. I feel like people will be, letting their jaw hang loose a little bit. Like
Yeah.
this is, share your different opinions.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Maybe get into an argument, but arguments don't always have to be bad.
They
Maybe
don't.
you end up understanding each other one
Ex-
way or another.
exactly. And Aquarius is can be argumentative, but is usually like wanting you to see a different side. And then Gemini usually wants you to see a different side. So I feel like the arguments aren't really going to be intense negative ones, like if Mars
No.
and Pluto were involved, right? This is
Yeah.
more like, let's have a heated discussion
Yeah.
and then let's
Yeah.
laugh about it and watch a show afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
What a month, Helena. Holy man.
Yeah.
We have to take a breath in that one. That, you said it already. That's a full month.
Yeah.
An energetically power packed month with Pluto entering, escorting everyone into Aquarius. Come on in. Come on
Yeah.
in.
Escorting them in. They're standing at the door like, do I dare to enter?
Well, and if you think about the time frame, like let's just think about the transition from Capricorn into Aquarius in general. It's already a nerve-wracking transition energetically because Capricorn is like, we know what to expect. We have the tradition, we have the foundation, we know, we've worked on it, we have our structure. And then you leave that room and you walk out into the hallway and you open the room into Aquarius, and it is nothing like what you just left. And so you're already like nail biting. Oh my God, what's happening? And then you walk into this weird party of Aquarian energy vibe, right? Just weird energy. And then
Fun looking, but
fun.
weird.
But then Pluto is standing there going, it's time to have your power. Like basically just demolished and reborn, right? Because he wants you to really like strip yourself and come out of your own energy. Very Phoenix like. And so you don't even get to like, it's almost like going to prison. Like you get to be strip searched before you go to prison, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a total like rebirth. And then you
Yeah.
enter into this weirdo, fun, unicorn kitty, whatever, Legoland. Like it's very, very strange. And it's going to be strange for the next few years. Every January, the planets
Yeah.
are going to be like, oh God, him again. oh shit. Okay. Right.
Met him last year.
Remember that Pluto guy? Oh God, he did a cavity search and he made me like, oh my God, right? Like Pluto makes you go deep and find yourself.
Yeah.
And he does not screw around. So I think our human selves are going to really start to feel that internally as we see all these planets trek through there and have all this experience with Pluto. So I'm eager to see and hear how this happens for you guys, our listeners. Please let us know. Leave some comments and let us know how this goes for you. And then feel free to share your experiences with us on Instagram or private message us. We want to know how these transits show up for you. Did you hear something and then you put it on your calendar and then it happened for you this way? Like, let us know. We love hearing how that turns out. And then we can share it on the show too. I love doing that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for listening to our January transits 2025 and for listening to our last episode of 2024. We have been doing this for over 2 years now, and it has been just such a joy. And we thank you so much for your time and your attention, and of all the things you could listen to on the internet, you chose to listen to us, and we so appreciate it. So thank you so much, and share this with a friend who needs to know what's going on in January, because it's a thing. Awesome.
It is.
Well, take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you. Bye.
Thank you for joining us this week. Be sure to like and support the show by sharing with a friend or joining us on Patreon. And you can buy us a tea or coffee and financially support us. Thank you so much. It's so appreciated.